What's going on, everybody? Talk to me, y'all. What are your thoughts? It's a live stream, and Uncle T just want to know, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. When you get in here, you should know what to do. Let's talk about it. What are your thoughts? All right? Uncle T want to know. What are your thoughts? Unc want to know. Unc want to know. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? What's going on? What's going on, bro? What's going on, bro? Talk to me.
Check of a box that would be very important. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, you mentioned today that India, in addition to its 25% tariff rate, would pay an additional penalty because of its support of Russia. What is that additional penalty? And are other countries facing the same threat?
Well, we're negotiating right now, and it's also BRICS. You know, they have BRICS, which is basically a group of countries that are anti the United States, and India is a member of that, if you can believe it. It's an attack on the dollar. And we're not going to let anybody attack the dollar. So it's partially BRICS, and it's partially the trade, this trade situation. It's the deficit. We had a tremendous deficit. So, as you know, Prime Minister Modi is a friend of mine, but they don't do very much business in terms of business with us. They sell a lot to us, but we don't buy from them. You know why? Because the tariff is so high. They have one of the highest tariffs in the world. Now they're willing to cut it very substantially, but we'll see what happens. We're talking to India now. We'll see what happens. And it doesn't matter too much whether we have a deal or whether we charge them a certain tariff. But you'll know at the end of this week. August 1st is a very big day for this country because money is going to pour into the United States like we've never seen before. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. President.
I got another sales call and now, and I can't even remember the customer's name. His name is Kevin, and my name is your name. I'm future you, the you who uses the AI sales agent from Otter AI.
Thank you.
AI can
Another check of a
Appreciate
box
that,
that would be very important. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, you mentioned today that India, in addition to its 25% tariff rate, would pay an additional penalty because of its support of Russia. What is that additional penalty? And are other countries facing
And how do you feel that it will affect you? What are your thoughts? Talk to me. Let the world know. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. What are y'all thoughts? How do y'all feel? Do you feel like your voice matters? Do you feel like Your voice is too small. What do you feel? What are y'all thoughts? Let the world know. Let's talk about it. Call in. It's 382-480-382-9792. What are your thoughts on Trump's new tariff deal getting ready to come into place on Thursday? Do you feel like it would affect you? What are your thoughts? What are y'all thoughts? Do you feel like Trump's new tariff deal, do you feel like it's going to affect your pockets? How do you feel that it's going to affect your pockets? Do you feel like it matters? Or do you feel like we won't really see anything? Let the world know. Talk to me. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? Let the world know. Talk to me. Do you feel Trump's new tariff deal coming into play? Do you think that's going to affect your pockets? How do you think it's going to affect your pockets? Let the world know. Call in. Talk to me about it. Let the world know. Call in. Talk to me about it. People care. The world care. Trust me. You just too afraid. You too afraid to talk about it because you think your voice don't matter. You think what you say really don't matter. You think your voice too small. You think your voice too small. Call in. Let's talk about it. What are your thoughts? Caller, you are live. Talk to me.
The tariff been in. It came in during COVID. The high pricing and everything went sky high then. It was, I don't think it's up to the people. Either the people going to fight back and stop buying all these things and start to slow down on their spending habits, like it was before COVID. A lot of the shelves wasn't that empty. It was food still sitting on the shelves. They wasn't getting rid of the food off the shelves like that.
Okay.
But when COVID hit, everybody went and they figured out a way to get that food off their shelf. Because you can go in grocery stores and the grocery stores was jam-packed, all the shelves was jam-packed. But after COVID, we saw the hike. And it's been going up since then. I have a video a while back when Prescott said, because of this, due to COVID, price is not going to be hiked. You can't sell this, you can't sell that. They were selling the face mask still. They were selling the hand sanitizer still. The food prices went up still. And what people do is they just don't pay no attention to it, right? But then when it starts to hit hard and the math ain't mathing right, which with what you earning, vice versa, what you putting out, right? So your input and output system starts to become very unbalanced. Then people see it, right?
Right.
So if you want to stop a lot of things that you want to stop as the people have to slow down on their spending.
Right.
They have to start being
So what
mindful.
do you think about, do you personally think that this tariff deal going to affect you?
It affected me when COVID hit. I started seeing the price hikes during COVID. And my business, I had to go up on my prices. And people complained. And I used to tell people, you ain't complaining to the person that's doing the price hike. Don't complain to me. And what it is doing is...
Speaking of complaining,
go ahead.
do you think when you do complain, do you think your voice fall on deaf ears, or do you think your voice really matters? Do you think your voice is effective?
I don't think it do. One person's voice cannot be effective. If it's going to be effective in this, what's going on in this country, is there have to be a one fight, all fight. Right. Everybody have to stand up. If only 1/3 of the world is standing up and the rest of the world is going along with the agenda, then it's always going to be an imbalance.
Okay. Why do you think that?
People.
Why do you
because
think
it's, like I say,
1/3 of the world speak up and 2/3 of the world just remain mute. Why is that?
Because the third of the world that's doing it is living off the backs of the other people. And until the people understand that somebody else is living off your back, it is what it is. Stand in the 3 feet of water and drown.
Do you feel that people who are just talking and not actually coming in to join the fight, doing something about it, do you think they just need to shut the hell up?
Sometimes words are powerful. I think words are powerful.
There we
too.
go. Now you get now.
So because you're sitting around, you are the ones that's making the willing, because everybody don't see everything, right? Everybody don't get that information passed across them. And if just because you don't get the information passed across you, most people go on with their everyday life. But
Right.
because you have people that's speaking out on it, right? Anything that first start with someone voicing what's going on.
Right.
So the people who's out there talking, I think you still need to keep talking. Because
Okay.
you got to be somebody that passed the words. Growing up, where we grow up, remember, I didn't do nothing. I stayed on one floor, you stayed on the other one. How did that information get back to your mama? Talking.
Talking about it.
And you know what? I saw your son down here doing bad. And there was no phone. But
Right.
that information got back up to your parents, right? So the problem is that the reason why people don't see a lot of things is because it's not just social media don't see it. It's not a lot of people interaction anymore. And because there's not a people interaction, we have a government that counts on this, right? But now that you have a social media platform that goes out to like a bing, 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 it hits all phones now.
Right.
So it needs to be someone talking. It needs to be someone putting the word out. Everybody has a part to play in straighten things out. You have some people that's going to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be the ones that's the messenger. Remember the messenger?
Right.
All starts off with the messenger. The messenger can come back and say, hey, this is going on. It gets to the people. Then you got the messenger sends to the people. The people starts to get together. What do the people do? They get out there and do what they have to do. But when it all comes down, it always comes from the messenger. So people who sitting up and telling, I don't think there's nothing wrong with it. They are still part of the fight. Matter of fact, they're the most important part because communication is key.
Correct. So quick question. I have a question for you. So if you feel that most people's voice matter and but most people ain't speaking loud enough. I know that our voices are powerful. I don't think people feel, the majority of people don't feel that their voice is powerful. They don't feel that their voice matter. They feel like their voice is mute, that it's not big enough. But one of my sayings is, if you speak with passion, you can move 1 million people. So it actually can just be one person's voice, I think, that can actually speak with enough passion, speak with enough conviction. And I think these people can literally move millions. But for some reason, I think there's a lot of fear in folks these days. People afraid to get counseled. People afraid to speak because of their jobs. Certain people work in certain positions that they're afraid if they say something, everything is always just in the media. Everything reaches the media. It reaches everybody. So people are afraid to speak up because they have to take care of their families. People too dependent on the system that's at work, that's working against them. So I think that's why people don't speak up, because they working for the system.
I don't think so. As you on this podcast, right? Even YouTube silence voices that speaks out. TikTok does it. Facebook does it. And I was the one on TikTok at one point when I was putting out information. they threatened to ban me
Right.
because of the things that I was bringing to light to the people. And you're talking about someone at one point that had 10K views over my first account
Right.
ever on TikTok, right? 10K views, well, 10K followers, right? And I had over, 28,000. And
Okay.
because I refused to listen to what they said and I was pushing all that information out, right, which was about the money monetarian system we live in, capitalism. I was pushing
Correct.
out the political system and the economic system, things that people didn't like that I was saying. And that account, they banned it.
Well,
They banned it.
So when they
Somebody kept.
when they banned you for speaking out, is that is that a reason to stop? Because I
didn't
think a
stop.
lot of people
I
are
did.
afraid to get banned. A lot of people are afraid
I didn't.
that if they say something, they're going to get counseled. We do live in a counsel society these days.
That gentleman, Julian Brown, who came up here, he's in Chicago, probably then moved around somewhere else. That guy, this kid, 20-some years old, he's making gasoline out of plastic bottles.
Correct. That person is missing now.
No, he found. He was
Okay.
the mother got on there and she said she thanked you. It's just they got quiet. You know, you gotta move around. He didn't stop doing what he was doing. He got a couple of places. But to say this is that people don't stop. I didn't stop. I just created more pages. I got a whole bunch of them now.
Correct.
When they shut one down, there go another one pop up.
Correct.
And I began to go to platforms and step in on platforms, and I began to push the information out to people. And even then, I still got dropped on those or kicked out for somebody reporting the knowledge that I spit. But it is what it is. I'm going to keep doing what I do. And I fight two battles. I fight it physically, and I fight the mental part that we have to deal with.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you for fighting. I appreciate you for getting out there, speaking your voice. You know, I think people should talk about it a little bit more. You know, people want to know what's people's thoughts. I think if people wasn't so afraid to speak up, they'll know that a lot more people feel the way they feel. You know, I think the fact that, the system that we live in, it's a divide and conquer type of system. And it's been that way for a long time. And I think this is how the controllers, the rulers, the people that change the way we think as a society, I think they know that divided is the way that they can rule. And but people have to listen. You know, I think that's why we have two ears. You know, that saying from the Bible. You know, you have two ears for a reason, so you can listen more. Even if you listen, you don't always have to listen with your ears. You can listen from your heart. And if people listen more to their heart, I think they will speak more. And the more people speak, I think they will see the more people that thinks just like them. Your thoughts aren't crazy. You know, I used to be the type of individual that I'm a wonderer. I always wonder what.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious. I'm a wonderer.
Yeah, I'm thinking what you said because I'm like that. My
Yes.
mind will go and say, what if I
Yes.
do this?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I wonder, and I always wonder, like, wow, I wonder what would this be like? Wow, I wonder this. I'm always trying to put something together. And with that being said, if people spoke of the things that they wonder, stop thinking that the world gonna think they're crazy, or the world like to paint you crazy, especially when you speak the same thoughts that other people speaking, but they too afraid to speak up. They too afraid to get out here and put it out there, and that's what it takes. If everybody just get out here, put their thoughts out here to the world, I think the world will listen. The world will listen, but people just afraid to speak. How do you think we as a people, how do you think we can break that fear that everybody have? The fear that most,
doing
and I
it
say
already.
everybody, not literally everyone, but I feel most people have a fear so deep that they don't speak. They're afraid for whatever reason it may be. How do you think we can break that fear amongst people?
Well, I'm gonna tell you my first thought. So growing up as a kid, you look at your elders and you hold the elders accountable for what the children learn,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
And what I mean by that is we put a lot of emphasis into making others look good to the point that they look just awesome, but they don't come back and they don't tie into that made them look good,
Okay.
right? And the thing about it is that, and I say this I think, and I'm gonna say it in a nice way. To me, celebrities and things, they just a bunch of dressed up poor people to me.
Okay.
That's what I think of it. And once we understand that ideology, because you got to remember, there was once down there where you were at, right?
Right.
And those people did not get there by other people. They got there by the way of poor people. Poor people recognize their talent,
Okay.
right? And we do the talent shows, right?
Okay.
And somebody came out and said, whoa, look at those people, right?
Okay.
And when those poor people is no longer wearing rags and they wearing riches, they don't look back to come back and tie into fixing where they come from,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
And if we begin to stop tying in financially to those people, let the other folks go on here. That's what they want to do. But if the world stops tying in, because the most money comes from poor people. Poor people think rich people and rich people, but it's not. Trust me.
Right. Right.
It's
right.
poor people.
Right.
Brands are taking the retail value, and I can't speak to other races of people, but you go look it up. But when it comes down even to the dollars of the Negroes and the colored people in this country, you're spending at least $6 billion into retail, right?
Right.
So that includes concerts and all that other good stuff that we do,
Okay.
all entertainment, all those things. Now, if people start to hold, and this just with one race of people, but if all races of people choose not to tie into that type of entertainment and choose to do things otherwise and say, hey, I'm not going to argue with you about bettering the hospitals that I have to go to. I'm going to take that money and I'm not going to tie into there. I'm going to tie into building better things in my communities and in the world in general.
Okay.
So if they do a reverse on their own psychology, because it's something that they are psychoanalyzing, and it's something that is a made-up thing in their mind. But if they take that which they think that they can believe in out there and believe in it and reverse it and believe in it in themselves and begin to tie into creating a better school system, right?
Right.
Tying into making things better, tying in better into our legal system, and don't let our legal system be based on violence, right? And tie in to where people are getting
real quick.
scared.
Let me stop you real quick. So
Go ahead.
you said based on violence. Don't let our legal system be based on violence.
Our legal system is driven by violence.
Okay, so I want to speak on violence.
Go ahead.
I want to speak on violence. So when you think about the society, the world we live in, the way we think, the dollars we spend, the investment we pour into the financial system, when you think about these things and you think about how we got here, didn't we get here by violence? If you really want to speak the truth, the way the world operates is by violence.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if we got here by violence, the only way we get ourselves from this, I want to say, get ourselves from this setback, because I think the world is living in a setback. We're not progressing as a human race as a society.
I agree.
We're not progressing. We're still fighting and bickering over the same things that we've always been fighting and bickering over. Race, color, size, status. We still do that. And it's systematically set that we operate this way. Like I say, we operate from a divide and conquer standpoint. So if that's how we're operating and we got here by violence, we got here, it's like only by violence. Don't you feel that the only way we can get ourselves from this place that we at is by violence?
Well, let me say something. I agree with you on that one, but I want you to when you begin to see the system that was once the people system, right? And I say the people system.
Okay.
So you got two systems, right? You have a political system, them the people that control things, right?
Okay.
And you have an economic system. Me and you, we sit at the economic level, right?
Okay.
There are some of us that understand the driven forces behind the economy, right?
Okay.
So when I said violence, right, the system of the legal system, right, in particular, we're going to stick with the legal system because that's where you at.
Okay.
The legal system is driven by violence, right? And the only reason why the legal system exists is because it perpetuates violence, right?
Okay.
But if you took that legal system, right, and you turn it over and you switch its functionality, right? If you switch the functionality of it and you say, hey, we don't want the cops, we don't want the judges, we want our legal system to look more like therapy, more like peace, more like, you know what I'm saying, our recreational centers back there, someplace to occupy these children's mind, occupying people's mind,
Okay.
putting people into a whole different tangent than sitting up there promoting violence.
Okay.
And when I say promoting violence, you're talking one way of violence. Check the TVs, violence. Everywhere you look is violence. It's heavily promoted.
What's
Everywhere you
what's
look.
wrong with violence? What if we had structured violence? What if we had structured violence? Because when you look at the system, peep this, Queen. When you look at the system that we all people, you know, whether it's whatever it may be, whether it's a religious system, whether it's a political system, whatever system it is, the system exists only because of violence. At the end of the day, violence, but it was structured. It was a structured system. The same way people in communities try to form gang systems, gang organizations. You know, they use the word organization when they speak of the political, the government. They use organization. But that same organization is the same organization that Al Capone, all these well-known gangsters that made an impact in today's society. The same ones that they were fighting against with alcohol. The same ones they was fighting against with running numbers. Okay, so the system got smart and started running numbers, and they call it now today the lottery. But a lot of these people was getting pushed back, these gangsters that was forming these organizations, and the nerds formed an organization called the government. And in order to get the government formed, they started forming these gangs and they started doing structured violence and taking over their community. And then before you know it, the community expand a little bit, then it expand more, and it just continues to expand. And now we see what we live in today. Now, with that in mind, that every system you see, whether it's religion, legal system, the judiciary system, whatever system, the executive system, whatever system it is, it exists because of violence. Now, how do you get, this is my question, how do you get people to stop being afraid of violence if they want change? If the people want change and the people claim that they truly want change, the change only gonna come through violence at the end of the day.
But I do know that that's what people are at now. It has no other choice but to come through that way, because all people now are in the survival of the fittest stage.
Okay, now
Every
we talking.
people.
Now we talking.
Mm-hmm. Every people, and I get that. Every people are, right?
Yeah.
Every people are in the survival of fittest stage, but there's still people out there, right? This 1%, the 1% know you there. They know the other 99.9% are there. They know that the entire world is at the survival stage.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing I want you to think about. Knowing that the 1% that's holding the power, right?
Okay.
Know you there. Know everybody is there.
Okay.
They didn't already start the shift.
They
and
done
figure
already
out what
started
they gonna
what?
do.
Say that again.
The shift didn't already came. They didn't already shifted. They ready for it.
Okay. So
We
real
just-
quick,
when survival of the fittest hit,
not to cut you
go
off.
ahead.
Not to cut you off. I want to stay right there right quick. You say
Mm-hmm.
the 1% that holds the power, they already know that the majority of the people are there. Now, the fact that the majority of the people are there, this is what that 1% that holds the power. Remember I said that they're nerds. So the 1% that holds the power, they know that people is getting fed up. People are already at the point of no return. Now, here come a different distraction. Here come another distraction. Here come another pacifier. Here come another gift to the world. Here come another gift to the people. And it's been working, and it's been working, and it's been working. So with that's working, how do the people start moving? How do the people get mobile if they continue to be crippled? Just like if, they say a parent that does everything for a child, you're only crippling the child, you're not empowering the child. If you continue to feed someone, and instead of teaching them how to go feed themselves, you're only crippling the people. So with the people being continued to be crippled, how do they get mobilized? Because they know we there. They know we at the point of no return. But, okay, we at the point of no return, and here come another pacifier. The people is finna get back stagnated. How do
No, you got people that has already started to weed out the tethers. They done start to weed out the tethers amongst themselves. So literally the entire human race just start to weed out the tethers. Believe it or not, they didn't already start it. I'm telling you. They're already weeding out people. Yeah, I know so.
Pay attention.
I know so.
I see a few people, but I don't
no,
see
you ain't
enough.
looking good. You ain't looking good. And I'm finna help you out. There's a movement going on that most people don't even know about the movement. The movement with the and I'm gonna speak about this because I know it has came amongst our people, right? Our people didn't start to read out the tethers. No lie. All them folks that went, and if you think I'm lying, pay attention. This whole ICE thing that's going on, even with the Hispanics, we're not standing up for it. You should see the social media that's going on, the things that are being said about us in general, because we won't stand up to the ICE and the deportation, because you chose the president. I mean, people was on here. You voted the person in. The person said what they was going to say, right?
So now we sit out.
We sit out. Is
that a good thing?
One race. Yes, it is.
Why
Yes,
is that
it
a
is.
good thing?
Because
It's only
I'm gonna
showing
tell
that
you
they
what was
divide and
said.
conquer. They divide and
Hold
conquer
on, let me tell you
tactics
what was
is
said.
working.
Though. Hold on, let me tell you what was said. Right? These people, literally, is gonna unalive you. They said it. They said if you come, we're gonna run you over. They said if you come, we're gonna put you in jail. They said if you do this, we're gonna send your remains to your family. Let's be clear on the words that's going out these folks' mouth. You understand me? Now, you don't see them doing that to none of these folks when they out here. Go pay attention to the media. They're not doing that to these people. They're not doing what they're doing to the people like they did during Black Lives Matter. They was running us over. They was unaliving us. And they was doing these horrific things to us, right?
Okay.
I didn't see some of these places. I didn't even been out in my vehicle and been stopped due to rallies. They're not doing that to those people. Oh, no, they're not. No. So what you going to put your body out there for? You voted for a president. And if you go throughout social media, these people were singing, vote for President Trump, all over. This man literally stated out his mouth what he was going to do to everybody that came over here. You heard it. You heard it. You refused to vote somebody in just because of her what? Just because of her color and her sex. So that was your choice. Your choice was your choice. And then you get on here and you say, oh, no, I voted for him. You see it. I send you thousands of videos of this shit. I'd load you up. And you know I be loading you up.
Right.
Because I want you to see what's going on. And see, they was the first. All these folks that's coming in here up under this status, a video with a guy that came over here. No more money for you. Saying this to Hampton family. You understand? Fred Hampton family right here in Chicago. No more money for you. You're lazy. No more money for you. Right? You talking this big crap to the people who actually paved the way just for you to come over here. So a lot of them stepping out the way and say, hey, look, we ain't going to say nothing no more. We're going to shut our mouth.
How do that change?
It has changed. Let me tell you how it's changed.
What has changed? Everything that this man, everything that the system wants, everything that the power wants, the power gets. So
No. Let me finish. Let me say this. Everybody who thought and said things to us, and I'm finna tell you what they said. So what? Your government let us do it. I send you all the videos from every race people. So what? Your government let you do it. Well, now we're fighting. We're fighting this government. We've been fighting this government for 533 years. As of this year, we're fighting against the government, right? And you come over and you help this government. You help him. And this is what people are doing. You're helping the government. You keep putting fuel in this machine. Hey, this is running out of gas. Give it some more. Some more people come over here. You try to stop the things that are going on in this country that is wrong and that is a detriment to people, right? And it's all on your back, your ancestors, the unalivement, right? The 230 men they found behind the Mississippi jail cell that was black men, right?
Okay.
The 193 black women that was found up missing. Ain't none of this being posted in the news, but it's happening. It's happening. But they got everything posted. And these people that you keep telling, they don't come over here and ask you. And I would ask you, like if I go to Africa, I ask Africa, what's going on here? I'm going to go to the African. Regardless of what I'm hearing on social media or news, I'm going to go to the African, this their land. I'm not going to go to somebody else and listen to what they got to say. So now you have to deal with the wrath of the government. You said you know this government. You said you can handle this government. You said our government lets you do it. Let's see what this government lets you do. That's all we can do at this point. Why should we go put more bodies on the line?
If you
That's
got
what
hit,
I'm asking. Why?
Right.
This is what's happening. I'm telling you, this is not just coming from one particular race. It's coming from all races, targeting one particular race in this country. And we're saying, no, I'm not going to go back on that front line. If you want to, you go ahead. You know what we did? We shift focus and we begin to put the focus somewhere else where it needs to be, right? So if you pay attention, things we didn't start doing was rebuilding neighborhoods and communities again. Pay attention. Here in Chicago,
I'm gonna
it's
keep
a young
looking.
lady. It's a young lady. Come around the hood where the places used to be. You're gonna find a whole lot of those places being opened up to get back again. You're gonna see there's a lot of money going into rebuilding those communities that's tore down before these folks come in and try to grab hold to it again. Right? This is what's going on. I know this is going on here for a fact.
Okay. So with that being said, I'm gonna keep watch, and I disagree.
You know I'm gonna send it to you when I get it.
I disagree, but we can agree to disagree. I disagree.
We can.
I disagree that any movement, any real movement, can be made without a machine working together. And when I say a machine working together, blacks aren't the only people that's affected. Hispanics aren't the only people that's affected. Indians, Asians, whoever you want to call it, you want to call it, whatever color they want to call themselves, they're not the only people that's affected. The world is affected. And the only way you can truly fix a problem is not by being divided. It's not going to fix the system that's the powers that be knows it's not going to be fixed divided. So, okay, black people sit out. Okay, and now we're going to be sitting out, for another 1,000 years? It's the problem never get fixed, sister. The only way problem...
Well, I have to say this, too, before you leave. I want you to take back and I want you to take into accountability of your own history. And I want to see if we as a people wasn't the one we fought. There were people that all looked like us that fought, that paved the way for every other race of people by ourselves in this country. So when you say we can't do it by ourselves, I beg to differ, because other people get to walk in this country now because people like us by ourselves fought this system to make it possible. By ourselves, we took those lines down. By ourselves, you don't walk through a back door. By ourselves, we sit anywhere on the bus.
Listen to me. Only until people like us had fear instilled into them. Only until people like us had our spiritual beings stripped away from us, where we don't even attach to who we are as a people spiritually. So now that it's a different system in place, because you're right, there was once a society.
It's the same system.
It was.
That's what I keep telling you. The system ain't changed. People just don't recognize it. They don't see it.
People are
and
detached.
That's what I try to get people to do. They don't recognize something that is still here. DCFS that took people kids from the head, babies from, that's still here. That system is still here.
The system I'm
Where
talking
has it
about,
went
sister,
anywhere?
the system I'm talking about is the system of fear, the system of turning the other cheek, the system of sitting back. And so let's go back to the system that you said was once where it was just us did this and did that, and we had the world the way the world was once before. We're not those people. We're not those people no more. Those people aren't even in a right mind. Those people aren't in their right mind right now because those people allowed a people to totally instill fear, religion, everything that made us as a people. So in order for the world to be like it is, in order for the world to be the way it is today, people had to sit back and allow things to take place. And they did that because of fear. Okay? So the way we even became prisoners of war is because people sat back and they was fearful because of whatever reason, because of whatever head that got chopped off, because of whatever they didn't saw that put fear of God in them. That's what happened to us as a people, and that's why the world operates the way the world operates. The world not moving forward no more. Yeah, we advance in technology and everything, but all of that's dehumanizing. All of that's taking away the power from the people. So the way people, how do people get back to the way people were? How do people get back to a place in society where they're not afraid to speak up? Where they're not afraid? That was my original question. How do people get back there?
Yeah, and I said it. They all have to stand up.
Oh, right. So if they all have to stand up, Queen, you don't stand up by yourself.
You fighting against me, and I'm trying to fight for you. At some point, if me and you is pushing back and forth, do you understand what I'm saying? At some point, I'm going to just go ahead and let you go your way, and I'm going to have to keep pushing forward. That's what people are doing now.
Okay.
That's
so
where
that's
we at.
what
That's
the black
what I mean.
people, that's what black people did.
That's not the black people. Hold on. Like I said, people are getting with like-minded people. They can't sit here and wait on people to get themselves together. You understand? This is not, I'm just telling you what's going on our end. But there's other people that's doing it as well. They're getting on their people. They're getting their people. They're checking their people. You understand? Like I say, this with you over the phone, but I'm going to discuss it with you right here. There's people that is choosing to stand up and talk about what's going on. Like I say, that's why I told you, a messenger can be very important, getting that information out. But for those who want to sit up there and do the things and vote for people, what you want us to do? I'm not going to get out there and fight for you now. You got to check your own. I got to check you. If you step out of line, let me check you. You understand? And that's what we're trying to do. Weed out tetherers. You got to weed out the tetherers in order to get all people to stand. Because if you got these tetherers there that's undermining everything else, it's hard to fight anything in this land. Okay. Anything. And we learned this back then. We weeded out the tetherers and we began to push forward. But if we got tetherers in there telling every move you make, telling everything you're doing, how you gonna fight against the system when you got tetherers? The same way
they have tetherers, the same way they have weakness in their organization. You know, that don't stop them from pushing forward with their agenda. It's not stopping them from pushing forward with their agenda.
Weed them out. They weed them out. Go look and see all them folks that was just killed because of what they were saying. Go look. I got a whole video about.
I get everything you're saying.
Drop, boom.
I get everything you're saying.
Right.
I get everything you're saying, but it's not going to change. Okay. It's not going to change divided. Divided, we will always fail. And united,
we're not divided. That's what I'm telling you.
Everybody's, we are divided. We divided. Everything you spoke was the division. That's it. Black people
everything
did this.
I spoke was
that.
weeding out tetherers. That's what I told you in the beginning. People are beginning to weed out the tetherers. That's what I told you.
Yeah.
Now, I said I can only speak on what's going on my end, is what I said.
Right.
I can't really speak on everybody else's end. Do you get me?
Right.
Because they're doing the same thing. They're doing a cleanup, right? You got to clean up what you messed up. So that's what I said.
I like cleaning up what we messed up. I like that.
Right. You understand it. You have to. But you have to first start what? Among your own.
I agree. That's with you.
That's all they doing. Listen, it's people that are of Mexican descent. I show you videos. They say, look, you did this. We didn't do this. You did this. You went out there and you voted for that man. That's what they're saying. There's people here that is from all different walks of life that were already in this country and told people, don't vote for this man. So they're weeding out their tetherers. Hey, if they going back, they going back. That's what they said to their own people.
All right,
I'm
Queen.
telling you, this is what's going on.
On some of this, I agree with you. Some of it, I don't fully agree.
I
but
get you.
we gonna disagree to agree, and we gonna move on to another topic.
We definitely.
I have another video I'm finna pull in, and we gonna talk
Please do.
about it. I appreciate the call.
Always.
Love, love, love.
As always. Love you too, man.
Yes, ma'am.
Here to Live Now from Fox. I am Andy Mack. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's turn right now to some immigration enforcement. And I know a lot of people have heard about Alligator Alcatraz there in the southern portion of the United States. There potentially could be another detention facility, a temporary one.
Before I finish with this video, I do want to say thank you, caller. I appreciate your voice, because at the end of the day, that's what this podcast is about. Your thoughts. Your thoughts. I want to talk about it. I want the world to know your thoughts so we can see how many of us think and have some of the same thoughts. I truly feel from the depths of my heart that don't no major change happen in this world without people being together, without people being together. And I think we all really need to just focus on ourselves spiritually. And when I say spiritually, I'm not talking about religiously. I'm not speaking religiously. I think we need to work on ourselves spiritually. We need to get back in tune with our God conscious. And when I say we, I mean all people. All people needs to get back in tune with a God consciousness that we all have as a people. We all have a God consciousness. And those that don't want to get back to that God consciousness, those would be the tetherers. Those would be the ones that you weed out. But I think if all people get in tune with the wisdom that's on the inside of everyone, I'm going to say that again. I think if all people get in tune with the wisdom that we all have as human beings, and those that are not willing to get in tune with that wisdom that we all have as people, those are the ones that we weed out. But you won't have to weed out anybody, because that consciousness that we have, that wisdom that we have, it has a form of communicating without communicating. Did y'all hear what I said? The wisdom that we all have as human beings that sits inside of us all, not many hear it because we allow the smoky mirrors. We allow the fog to cloud our spirits. But if we get in tune with it, we don't have to speak as far as worrying about an infiltration or worried about the people speaking or coming against us. There's a connection that we all have as people, regardless of whatever nationality, regardless of whatever land you come from, regardless of the color of your skin, your status in life. We all have a wisdom and a consciousness inside of us. And I think that's the way we move mountains, is when that comes together, when that God consciousness comes together. Okay, let's check this out. Sorry about that. I wanted to get that out there. We have to stand together.
in Indiana soon in the works. I want to put up a post from Bill Malusian, Fox News' reporter, saying, breaking, the DHS confirms that the next alligator Alcatraz will be in the state of Indiana at the Miami Correctional Facility north of Indianapolis. It will be branded as the Speedway Slammer. DHS says it will expand ICE detention capacity by 1,000 beds, will house some of the worst criminal aliens, and will be in partnership with Indiana Governor Mike Braun. This also a statement from Mike Braun to...
Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to take that back a little bit. You need to hear that. So they're opening up these detention centers next door to you, literally. And these are a speedway, as he just stated, basically. This is a speedway to house so-called criminals, illegal aliens. We all are illegal aliens when you think about it. All of us are illegal aliens, you know? And I wouldn't even say we're illegal aliens. I say we all are foreign to a land, whether it's the United States, someone that was born in, I'm going to say Germany, but they're here. It's a game. Can I please say that, people? It's a game. Is it an invisible border? Isn't we fighting and sending people back to so-called all parts of the land of the universe? But we play the game and we play inside of these invisible borders. Are y'all listening? This is a system that was designed by a people that knew if we place up these invisible borders and say that these people are this, these people are that, and don't respect how people think, how people feel, how people spirits are, we can have a game going on that we can have in existence for thousands of years, for millions of years, until people, once again, I'm going to say this, connect to that God consciousness that we all have as people. We all have a God consciousness. We all have a human consciousness that connects with everyone, But we have allowed the deception. We have allowed the deception of division, these divisive forces, whether visible or invisible, to set in, if you understand, to set into our spirits and cause us to continue to chase our tail around like a cat. But I want to say the powers that be, the 1%, whatever you want to call these people, that likes control, they're human too. They are human as well. Everybody bleed just like us. Do you hear me? Everybody bleed just like us. And when I say us, I mean humans. Everybody bleed just like us. If you smash a roach, you will see some blood. So everybody bleed just like us. And when I say us, I mean humans, once again. I'm not talking about a specific people, but we can't continue to allow ourselves to be stuck in these invisible systems, whether they're borders that separate so-called states and countries, whatever it may be. We cannot continue to play the game if we want to see the change that we want to see. We cannot play the game. Do you get what I'm saying? Hey, Candace, I see you. I see you, Candace. We can't play the game. And we can't make a major change in life without coming together by being divided. That's exactly what they want. That's exactly what they want. But I say, let's start with self. Let's reach inside ourselves and connect. And once we connect, you would know its fruit by its color. You heard me? Once we reach inside and connect to the God consciousness that we all have as people, you will know the fruit. You will know the fruit by its color. Trust and believe that. But, hey, what do my little voice know? What do my little voice knows?
Surprised.
Locals like Sarah McConkey, who spoke out against the changes,
Law enforcement is doing a really good job keeping my neighborhood, my kids safe.
are now left to wonder what may happen if their local officers leave for these federal opportunities.
You know, they could rehire and get to where they need to be, but if there's a temporary lag, that could have real safety consequences for all people in the county.
A DHS spokesperson tells us they are recruiting 287G partners who have already been trained and have valuable local law enforcement experience, but did not answer questions about how that may impact their relationships with these local offices. With these 287G agreements being new to Utah, Sheriff Glover says he doesn't expect a huge impact here locally, but says it is a problem that needs to be addressed. In West Valley City, Jeremy Toms, Fox 13 News.
All right. So that's, they're talking about ICE building new facilities all across the United States. They're building new facilities. And these new facilities is so that they can expand their operation, so that they can expand deportation, so they can house people that speak their voice. That's what this is ultimately about. But do you allow the fear to silence you? Do you allow the fear to silence you? Do you continue to stand back and allow Trump, allow the system to do what it want to do, to move and operate the way it want to operate, and think that your voice don't matter? Let's talk about it. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? Let's let the world know. Let the world know. What are your thoughts? Stop thinking your voice don't matter. Stop thinking your voice don't matter. Stop thinking your voice don't matter. Your voice is powerful. People care about what you have to say if they know you care about what you're talking about. Let's be passionate. Let's be fearless. Be courageous. Did you hear me? Be courageous. The courageous people are the ones that make a difference. What's average? What's standard? Stop thinking you're standard. Stop thinking you're just an average person, or you're an average Joe. Stop thinking that because you don't have a certain amount of income, that you're not in a certain income or financial bracket, that you don't mean nothing, that you can't make a impactful change to the world because you don't have a certain amount of money. You can't do something that's going to ultimately affect the whole world, the way the whole world operates. Stop thinking like that. You allowed their system to be your world. You allowed the way we see the system today, you allowed that to be your world, to become your world. It once was something else. And then it once was something else. There's always change that takes place. There's always change. Just because what you see today doesn't necessarily mean that's what it's always been. It has not always been what we see. It has not always been what we see. There once was a different way. And who changed that way? Just an ordinary Joe that's powerful now. But once they thought that they were just an ordinary Joe. They thought they was just an ordinary Joe, whether that's a gal or a man. They thought they was an ordinary Joe. And guess what? Guess what? They was courageous. They were courageous. They thought. Then their thoughts became vocal. Then their vocal became mobile. Did y'all hear me? They thought became a reality vocal, and then their vocals became mobile. And that's how we make a change. That's how we move. That's how we operate. You don't operate in fear. Nothing changes in fear. The way the society remained the same is by good people like you and I remaining silent, remaining mute. That's the way we see a society that never changed. It takes courage. It takes courage. Don't be afraid. What are you afraid of? They teach us to be afraid of death. Who knows? They tell us what's in the afterworld. They've created an afterworld so that we all can have fear. Who knows? If you go away from this body, who knows? This is one of my wonders. This is one of my wonders. Who knows what we come back as? Who knows if we come right back? Who knows if that energy jumps inside of a embryo and comes right back? Even better and stronger. A better version of your before self. Who knows? But we allow the way someone thought to be our world. Someone thought that there was a big lake of fire, or they knew that this will work psychologically. This will work to place fear in people. This will make people be afraid of death. This will make people be afraid to stand up. This will make people be afraid to be the best version of themselves. If we tell them that if they stand up or they leave this body that they know of right now, that they may burn in the lake of fire. So now people are afraid to stand up and be courageous or fight against a system that they don't like. Should we? Should we? Do we? Do we continue to be afraid? Search your own soul. Search your soul. Listen. Isolate yourself and just listen. Listen to the wisdom that we have in the inside. We all have a wisdom that's on the inside of us. And we just have to listen. If we listen, you will hear. If you listen, you will hear. Don't be afraid to speak up. Your voice matters. Your voice matters. Don't be afraid to be courageous. Your voice matters. Your voice matters. What makes people think that they can become a leader of a world? We say because they were bred into it, that they were raised into a powerful family. But what about those people like Abraham Lincoln? What about people like Abraham Lincoln that wasn't raised into a powerful family, but had the courage, to stand up and fight against a system that was moving in one direction? That's what it ultimately takes. Just take courage to stand up. Be different. Don't be afraid. That courage. That courage. Let's stand up, y'all. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. What are your thoughts? What's your thoughts? Uncle T here. Uncle T here. What are your thoughts? Let's talk about it. Do you continue to be afraid? Do you continue to be afraid? Do you think your voice is too soft? Your voice is not loud enough? You know, you can speak loud even if you speak quietly. You heard me? You can speak loud even if you speak quietly. It's not how loud you are. It's just where your words land. Where do they land? Huh? Where do your words land? What do you think? What do you think? Do you think you're weak? Do you think you're just a little dot on this planet? Do you think that? Expand what you think of yourself. Expand what you think of your voice. Change your thoughts. Change your thoughts. Change the way you feel about yourself. Change the way you think who you are. Let's look at yourself as you're greater. Let's look at yourself as you're bigger than what the world told you you were. You're bigger than what we've been made to socially think bigger is. You're bigger. You're bigger. Your celebrity status don't determine how big you are, how powerful you are. Your celebrity status don't determine that. So who told you that? Who told you your celebrity status or your popularity depends or determine how big you are, what kind of impact you can make? Who told you that? Throw it away. Whoever told you that, throw it away. Throw that thought away that most of us have of ourselves. That most of us think that's who words mean something. Those are the people who words mean something if they're this popular or if they're this high rank in the political realm, if they're this high ranking in the music industry. No. That don't determine how powerful your words are. That don't determine that. That don't determine who you are. That don't determine if you can make a real impact in this life that we know today. That doesn't mean that. That doesn't mean that. That's what that's what the system that you hate so bad, the system that you wish you can change, that's what the system wants you to think. That's what the system wants you to think. That's what the system wants you to think. It wants you to think that you can't make no big difference. The system wants you to think that you just little old you. Look how many followers you got. Look how many subscribers you got. Look how many likes you got. That's one of those invisible barriers that we place ourselves in. That's one of those invisible barriers that we place ourselves in. And it demobilizes us. It immobilizes us. And devocalizes us. That's how we become stagnated as a people, by allowing ourselves to think what the system that's at play, the system, the people, however you want to call it, that pull the strings, wants you to think of yourself, of the next person, your neighbor. It wants you to think like that. And that way, the system continues to be. The system remains at power. Are you listening? That is how the system remains in power, only by you thinking a specific way about yourself. Change that. You're so much greater. You're so much greater. You're greater than what the system told you you are. You're greater than what the system told you you are. You're more powerful than what the system told you you were. You're more powerful than what the system told you you were. Are you paying attention? Change your thoughts. Change the belief that you have in yourself. Be courageous. Don't be afraid. Use your voice. That's all you have. Use your voice. Your voice matters. Your voice can move 1 million people no matter how loud it is. No matter how loud it is, just be passionate about what you talk about. And make a difference. And make a difference. Okay? Your voice matters. Don't be afraid. Speak up. Speak up. All right, everybody. Thank you, Rural. Thank you, Rural, for listening. Thank you, Rural, for listening. When y'all see me, y'all come talk to me. Tell me your thoughts. Tell me your thoughts. Don't tell me. Tell the world. Let the world know. Let the world know your thoughts. Let's talk about it. Ain't no telling when I'm going to pop back in. But when you see me pop in, come tell me your thoughts. Come tell me your thoughts. Don't be afraid to speak. You never know. We may just think alike on a lot of levels. We're more alike than we are different. We may laugh at the same thing. We may cry about the same thing. But we're more alike than we are different. but we will never know if we don't talk about it. Let's talk about it. What are your thoughts? The world want to know. Let's tell the world. Let the world know. Let's talk about it. I appreciate y'all for joining me. We're going to do this again very soon. Don't be afraid to speak. Your voices matter. Don't be afraid to be courageous. That's who make an impact. Don't be afraid to dream. Dream. Dream big. Dream big. And remember this before I let you go. You're not who society said you were. You're not who society made you believe you were or you are. You're not that. Remember that. You're not that. You're so much more. You're so much more. You're so much more. All right, y'all.